Easy, boy. Hiya, folks. I'm John Denver, and I want to welcome you to our Rocky Mountain reunion. I think you're really going to enjoy what you're about to see because, well, it's more than just a television program. It's a really very special event. To explain it just briefly, here in the Rockies, there are a lot of animals that have just plain vanished, but not forever. Because what we've done and what this show is all about is we have reintroduced several of these creatures into their native homeland. We've taken a male and a female of some of the rarest animals in North America, and we've brought them back here where they belong for, well, like I said, a Rocky Mountain reunion. Today, we want to share the adventure of a lifetime with you. By plane and glider and pack horse, we're going to take you on an unforgettable trip into the most remote and spectacular wilderness areas of the High Rockies. From beneath the water of an icy mountain lake to the region of eagle and falcon, diving and soaring through clouds and canyons, we'll share the spectacle of this unspoiled country. And, along the way, some close-up views of some of the rarest and most precious creatures, those animals that have come to be known as endangered species. Many of the animals we will be seeing today have long been missing from the Rockies, victims of what passes these days for civilization. So our journey today is more than just a sightseeing tour. I hope you will share the excitement of restoring some of these rare and long-absent animals to their original homelands. I hope you enjoy this as much as I have. There are times in the High Rockies when it all seems uphill. One of those times, I discovered, is when you're lugging a pair of caged wolverines through deep snow. Wolverines sometimes reach 60 pounds apiece, and these felt like real heavyweights to me. Of course, with my good buddies David Huey helping on the other end and Ernie Wilkinson leading the way and lending a hand, I knew we'd get where we were going. Ernie used to be a government trapper back in the 40s, and he knew exactly where we were going. He was leading us back to that spot in the Rockies where he had trapped his last wolverine some 20 years ago. Ernie was paid a government bounty for trapping animals that preyed on domestic livestock, and wolverines were suspect. So between the traps and poison bait, also set out for predators, it had been many years since wolverines had been seen in this part of the Rockies. Now, at least 2 were coming home again, if we could make it up the hill, that is. Ernie seemed to take special pride in helping return the wolverines to their wilderness home. Nobody knew better than Ernie the legends that surrounded these animals. The scientific name of the wolverine translates into gluttonous glutton. Indian devil and skunk bear are just a couple of the milder names the animal has been called. One 18th century Englishman wrote that the wolverine drops moss from tree limbs to lure deers into ambush. Alaskan Eskimos called him Kiwaharkus, or Evil One, because he plundered their traps with almost supernatural cunning. Along the way, a curious badger decides to investigate this invasion of his territory. His bow-legged, low-slung body gives him a comical appearance as he wades through the snow. As a fellow member of the weasel family, it may have been the scent of his cousins in the cage that attracted his attention. Like the wolverine, he is a ferocious fighter, and there's not an animal in his weight class that can lick him. When Ernie let us know that we had reached the spot, it was a real relief to put that heavy cage down. Even the wolverines seem to know that their moment of freedom is almost here. A long rope is rigged to the cage so that the doors can be triggered from a safe distance. There's not a case on record of a wolverine ever attacking a man, but nobody seems eager to put it to a test, especially me. When the cage is finally rigged, Ernie gives us one last warning to give those critters plenty of room. You know, I couldn't think of one good reason to argue with him. At last, the moment of truth, and what a thrill it was to see them head for the open country. We may have been wallowing through the snow, but they skim across the surface like they're airborne. Indian devil? Gluttonous glutton? Only a human being could be prejudiced or presumptuous enough to hang labels like that on an animal like the wolverine, or any animal for that matter. For in nature there is neither good nor evil. There is only the instinct to survive, and each wild animal is bound to follow the dictates of his own instinct. With luck, these two will survive a harsh winter, and with the coming of spring will be drawn to each other to begin a family. Knowing this will make our trip home seem downhill all the way. As winter melts into spring, the changing colors, the sounds, and movements of new life signal the passing of one season into the next. These changes are also a reminder that the time is fast approaching for our next adventure. Together with my friend Lou Willie, we would head once again into the high country, this time to return two of the rarest and most beautiful of this country's priceless treasures. Leave me alone.
Well, John, it's going to be mighty cold walking through that river.
You know, Lou, that reminds me, I have a friend I brought up here from L.A., a fellow named Jerry Weintraub. He's never spent too much time in the mountains. I took him on a hike up to a lake, and he was talking about swimming at the end of the hike. I told him, you know, that water's pretty cold, Jerry. He said, I can handle it. His little boy, Michael, was along, asked how cold the water was. I said, Michael, it's so cold that sometimes when people jump in, it looks like the lake threw them right back out. Didn't say anything. We got up and I went swimming for a while, and it was all I could do to stay in the water. I mean, just, you know, take your breath away, stop your heart. I stayed in the water as long as I could and tried to be cool about it, got out, and then challenged Jerry if he was going swimming or not. He said, yes, I'm going swimming. He jumped in, and I swear to God, it looked like it threw him right back out. And his little boy laughed. Oh, that was great. This time our cargo is a pair of trumpeter swans. They're not nearly as heavy as a cage full of wolverines, but it sure is nice to have somebody else carrying the load. Oh, that is cold!
What?
It's hard to believe that when this country was young, there were so many millions of trumpeter swans at an overhead flight
we're going to keep dry here.
But what's even harder to believe is that by 1935 we had trapped and killed and destroyed all but 73 in the entire country. And for what good reason were they sacrificed? Why? To decorate hats and trim dresses. So these are going to be the only two in Colorado, is that right, Lou?
That's right. When you consider that there are only 1,000 left in the entire U.S., it's quite remarkable.
Easy does it. Lou, you think these two will make the nucleus of a little family here in Colorado, huh?
Well, I sure do. And the remarkable thing is they mate for life.
Is that right?
That's right.
That's far out. Well, I want to see how this guy's doing over here.
How does he look?
Well,
None the worse for wear.
How long you been thinking about this?
Oh, since 1936.
Is that right? Although we have only about 1,000 here in the lower 48, we're blessed beyond belief in Alaska. In the wide open spaces of that great state, it's estimated that there may be as many as 5,000 alive and well. I even had the opportunity of seeing a few when I was last up there.
Let me give you a lift here.
Those guys weigh a ton.
They're pretty heavy. Oh, they weigh 20 to 30 pounds apiece. No, there haven't been any trumpeter swans in Colorado for about 100 years.
100 years?
That's right.
Well, I'm ready. Let's give them back. Well, let's do it.
All right. Oh, boy. You got yours, John? Oh, boy. Oh, what a beautiful sight.
All right.
Hey, isn't that something?
That's just beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Well, you like it there too, don't you? Look at that.
Oh,
Whoa.
boy.
Oh, Lou, thank you.
Well,
I'm
thank
happy to be
you.
part of that, man. That's just great.
This is about the greatest moment in my life.
Ironically, the same qualities that make the trumpeter the magnificent bird that it is have also been its greatest liabilities. Its incredible 10-foot wingspan and striking chalk-white color against the blue sky have always made it an irresistible target for the hunter. But in fairness, the hunter doesn't deserve all the blame for its near extinction. The overhead wires and cables that are so much a part of 20th century life have caused more fatal collisions than 100 holiday weekends. Unlike a lot of people nowadays, a pair of trumpeters mates for life, and they return year after year to the same breeding ground to raise a new flock of young ones. A century ago, the trumpeters' nesting places ranged from Alaska to Indiana, but drought and drainage and the exploding human population have destroyed or made them unusable in all but a few places. When the first baby swan, or cygnet as it is called, is hatched, the male takes it into the water. If there are other eggs to be hatched, the female stays behind on the nest. The family stays close together for the first 4 or 5 months until the cygnet is old enough to be on its own. Like most swans, the trumpeter has a strong sense of territory and will put up a big fight if an intruder appears on the scene. The sight of an osprey on the hunt triggers a whole series of reactions to protect the small cygnet. The first move is to not move, to freeze, to become as inconspicuous as possible. When the osprey continues to wheel threateningly overhead, one adult moves into the lilies as a diversion. The other goes to red alert, spreading its wings to protect and hide the young cygnet. The hungry osprey is not easily discouraged. Not until both adults are certain that the osprey is off to search for easier prey does the situation go back to normal. A centuries-old legend holds that a swan sings one final song as it dies. This swan song, as it is called, is most likely the sound made as the bird's last breath is exhaled through its long throat. With the trumpeter, we came dangerously close to hearing a chorus of swan songs. Hopefully, that tragedy has once and for all been put behind us. At the end of the Civil War, uncounted millions of bison, or buffalo as we call them, still roamed the Great Plains from Mexico all the way up to Canada. And then a gruesome slaughter began as ranchers and railroaders and hide hunters and meat hunters, who often took only the tongue of the animal, began slaughtering these creatures. In 1889, a census was taken, and we found out that there were only 541 of these creatures left on the planet. Out of millions and millions, only 541 remained. Some people saw the writing on the wall and got smart. They set up reserves where the few remaining bison could survive and live in peace, and as a result, they saved the species. Newborn calves are born a light red color, a fascinating defense against predators evolved over millions of years. To the color-blind predators, red registers the same gray color as green foliage. Against a green background, the calves are practically invisible. When the rutting season arrives, adult bulls begin challenging each other by locking horns in a test of strength. It never does much damage. One bull nearly always gives up before any blood is drawn. Finally, the heavyweight championship fight. The two biggest bulls, frequently weighing in at more than a ton apiece, come together to decide which will dominate the entire herd. In human terms, it's a lot like arm wrestling, a grand display of puffing and power, with the victor getting his pick of the females. Today, more than 25,000 live as proof that man really can save a vanishing creature if only he cares to. The last surviving colony of white pelicans in Colorado lives on an island in the Riverside Reservoir about 40 miles from Greeley. Like all white pelicans, they must have a secluded island surrounded by fresh water on which to breed and raise their young. And that's part of the reason why there are so very few of these birds left in the entire country. Too often, the expanding human population has crowded them off their island retreats. Anything from a sonic boom to a curious tourist can frighten the adults off their nests and into the air. Sometimes they circle for hours overhead, leaving their eggs and baby birds unprotected from gulls and other predatory birds. Drought and ambitious water management schemes have lowered the water levels around their islands to such a degree that coyotes and other predators have been able to reach the islands and devour the helpless young birds. Here in Colorado, where the water level has sometimes reached dangerously low levels, heavy equipment has been used to shore up the island and keep it separated from the mainland. If it were not for these protected nesting islands, it's very doubtful that the breed could survive at all. Adult pelicans have very few natural enemies, but the mortality rate among the young birds is so high that less than half survive to adulthood. The young leave the nest at about 2 weeks, and from that moment on, the adults do little to protect them. The adults spend little time guarding their young, but they certainly don't let them go hungry. The young are quick to learn where their next meal is coming from. Since the young birds mature so slowly, not even breeding until they're 4 years old, the parents will continue to bring them food for quite a while. The most outstanding feature of the pelican is the huge expandable pouch under its beak. Despite the old rhyme about the pelican that its beak can hold more than its belly can, it isn't used for storage at all, but to scoop fish out of the water. Pelicans may look funny waddling along the ground, but in the air it's another story. It would be hard to find any bird that flies with more grace or endurance. That's even more remarkable when you consider the weight those wings have to support. An adult pelican averages about 20 pounds. Pelicans also know the vulture's trick of catching an updraft and coasting for hours on the wind. They've been known to ride an updraft as high as 8,000 feet. Thanks to the people who help maintain the security of their islands, it looks like the pelican is going to be able to hold its own. Some casualties still happen because of the buildup of chemical insecticides in the food chain. If we continue to be more and more careful in their use, I think the white pelican will be around for my son Zach and perhaps even his children to enjoy. You know, I wouldn't go dive bombing in the Rockies with just anybody, especially in places so tight you practically need grease on the wingtips to get through. But when my friend Wayne Russell from the Colorado Division of Wildlife invited me to help him nosedive some very rare greenback trout into a remote lake high up in these mountains, well, that was an offer I simply couldn't refuse.
Cranks up and down.
The plane special holding tanks are practically full of fingerlings now, but we'll pick up a few more to top them off before we head for the lake.
Okay. I'll be right back. It is beautiful today.
Get all them little beauties dropped off?
They're great. Going like clockwork.
There we go, last few in there. Okay, and the next installment.
That's so far out.
There you go.
All right.
go, Wayne. Get your toast, guys. 100 years ago, these greenback trout were in just about every stream in the Rockies. Then came the gold rush. People, pollution, and the introduction of more competitive species. By 1937, everybody agreed the greenback was a dead fish. Then came the 50s and a fantastic discovery. A very few greenbacks were found in a couple of national park streams. We'd been given a second chance. And right away, another kind of rush was on. Guys started flying them up to some of the high lakes and dumping them out of buckets. And it began to work. Thanks to them and guys like Wayne, the greenback is coming back.
Our weight's way back on us. Yes, it is today. Wayne, how many fish are we going to drop now?
Well, we got about 5,000 on this load, John.
5,000 one load?
5,000.
Is that the same for every lake you go to? Or?
No, it depends on the size of the acreage of the lake.
Is that right?
Right.
Now, I understand there's a real art to this. You have to be right where you want to be. And where is that?
Well, about 75 to 100 feet and about 80 miles an hour.
Why is that?
Well, if we were singing 300 feet or higher, the fish would dry up before they hit the water. And if we're lower than that and too fast, the fish would skip and on impact and they would kill them. So.
Well, that's it, right?
All right, get ready.
All right, you tell me wherever you want to go. I'm ready. Fantastic, Wayne. Good flying. Well, Wayne, I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay, I'll tell you when.
All right.
In May of 1978, the greenback was officially taken off the endangered list. A tribute to everybody who cared enough to take that rare second chance and fly with it. This is the fastest creature. I'm talking. Are you through? This is the fastest creature ever to live on the planet Earth. It's a peregrine falcon, and it can reach speeds of over 200 miles per hour while diving on its prey. Although the peregrine has become alarmingly rare in recent years, it's certainly not because of bad design. Any bird that can kill its prey in a 200-plus mile per hour collision without losing a single pin feather itself has got to be a marvel of power and precision. The peregrine is so brilliantly adapted that even its nostrils have special ridges to break up the fantastic rush of air, enabling the bird to breathe even as it dives. Most of the blame for the sudden and recent decline in peregrine numbers must be laid to the insecticide DDT. It's been outlawed in this country since 1968, but many of the migratory birds the peregrine preys on absorb it in the food they eat in South America, where it's still in use. As the peregrine feeds on these birds, the poison is absorbed in such high concentrations that its eggs are made infertile or so fragile that they break before hatching. You know, it's things like this incredible bird which have caused me to take such an active interest in wildlife and wilderness preservation. Hey, that's my finger. Well, I know, but I don't care. In Fort Collins, Colorado, the State Division of Wildlife and Cornell University have teamed up to research the peregrine problem. With generous funding by the Audubon Society and 3,000 member supporters, outstanding work is being done here, both in research and restoring the falcon to the wilderness. The Division of Wildlife's man here at the Peregrine Falcon Research Center is one of the recognized experts in the field, my friend, Jerry Craig. Well, Jerry, I think it's a pretty fantastic place you've got here, sir. I mean, really incredible.
Well, did you ever hear how it got started?
Nope, only how successful you've been.
Well, there was this one gentleman, Captain George Whittell, who believed he was going to be reincarnated as a bird.
Is that right?
Right.
Did he think he was going to come back as a bird of prey, specifically?
Yeah, he set up a foundation when he passed away to fund propagation facilities such as this for birds.
Well, then, what you're saying is that this guy right here, I mean, this could be George.
You know, I'd never thought of it that way, John.
Is that you? Hey, is that you? Well, good work, fella. Thank you.
Open the door and take one out and show it to you.
The center's research laboratory is directed by Cornell University's Bill Burnham, a man who has devoted his life to saving the peregrine.
Got to handle the peregrine eggs very gently.
There's a little life in there.
Yes, little life. That's part of the future of the peregrine falcon in that egg.
Boy, that's something. Well, can we look at it?
Yeah, I have a candler over here. Why don't we go do that?
That'd be great. Boy, you really do want to treat these things gently, huh?
Yeah,
You know, Bill, it occurs to me that you must feel like there's a small part of your life in each one of these little eggs.
Yeah, we do. It's actually more than just a part of our life. It's part of the 3,000 supporters' lives that assist us in our project.
Look at that.
Now you can see him moving about in there, twisting.
The miracle of life is no less a miracle because it belongs to a bird. The man who holds one of these eggs literally holds the future of the peregrine falcon in his hands. The tiny captive within this egg will tomorrow be one of nature's true masterpieces, wild and free, ready to take its rightful place among the clouds. To put just one peregrine falcon back in the wilderness cost right about $2,000. But if the peregrine disappears, there's nobody I know who can build a new one at any price. Hey, Kathy, how long has it been since we've had otters in Colorado?
Oh, about 1906, the last one disappeared.
What happened?
Oh, water pollution, over-trapping, those are the main ones.
Were there other reasons for that? I mean, it couldn't have been just pollution.
Not only the pollution, John. About the mid-1800s, there were trapping around 1,000 each year.
Why?
Because of the fur and the fashion trade, and when that collapsed in about 1860, it was too late to save the otters.
Are they really as as friendly as they say?
Well, it's not so much that they're friendly. They're kind of a curious animal, but like any wild animal, they can be dangerous.
I can't hear anything, Kathy. Along with 3 friends from the Division of Wildlife, we're about to release a pair of otters, extinct in Colorado since 1906. Do I have to do this?
Yes.
Okay. To put the problem in perspective, some historical film helps explain why they've been missing. When you think about the early day trapper, it usually calls to mind a rugged individualist who went out alone to wrest a hard-won living from the wilderness. Not so. Most of the trapping was done by huge groups of men who ran thousands of traps at a time. The demand was for beaver skins, but a trap doesn't know the difference between a beaver and any other animal unlucky enough to stumble into it. Nobody knows how many otters fell victim to the traps. We only know that the last otter in Colorado was killed in this same fashion more than 70 years ago.
This one.
Oh, thanks. A lot of weight.
They're playful animals, but like I said...
I ought to scare him to death in his outfit. I hope not.
You about ready to go, John?
No!
That water's cold, I know, but the otters want to get going, so
I can't
let's get
believe
with it.
I'm doing this. Give me a hand with these, please. Well, I'm actually real excited. I think this is great. And it's going to be cold.
You bet it's going to be. That water's probably around 50 degrees. Okay, Kathy, why don't you around there?
Okay, I'm ready. The reason the otters have to be released into the water is so that they'll recognize this spot and no other as their new
Ready
home.
to go.
In scientific terms, it's a form of imprinting.
There we go. When he gets that side, you move around to the back. Okay. Bring them out there in the deep water, John, so they'll know where they're going.
Feels like about 75 pounds of otters going in there.
Yeah. Okay, little fellas, this is it.
This
What
is
do you
it.
do home?
Your new home in Colorado.
Looks good. Watch your fingers, John. Why don't you back them up a little bit?
I hope the otters never forget this experience. I know I'm not about to. I'm not only imprinted, I'm numb. Whew. Otters usually go for slow-swimming bottom fish, but occasionally they'll zero in on one that's really fast, like a trout. If anybody ever bets you which can swim faster, an otter or a trout, don't put any money on the trout. Guess who's coming to dinner without an invitation? Otters are famous for their playfulness, and stealing somebody else's catch is all part of the game. Well, looks like these two have found a new home. And what a thrill to be part of it. You know, that's worth an ice water bath any day. My friends in the Division of Wildlife tell me they're going to bring 50 or 60 otters back to the Rockies every year from as far away as Newfoundland, Oregon, and Wisconsin. The eventual goal is to have a stable population here of between 300 and 500. If they all like their new home as much as these two, and if lots of little ones come along, otters most likely will be off the endangered list by 1990. Through all the changing seasons, the high Rockies draw the earthbound eye even higher. Theirs is the irresistible invitation to soar above the region of ice and snow and see the top of the world as the eagle does. My home is in the mountains. I am free, I am free. I am one with wind and eagles. I am free, given wings to sail in gracefulness. The sky, the sky, given voice to sing in breathlessness. I find that I can fly, fly away. I've been a long time on the highway. I've been a long time on the run.
All right. You like that, don't you, fella? Huh? This is Phoenix. He's a friend of mine. He's a golden eagle. You know, the golden eagles are doing pretty well in the United States now, but one of his close relatives, the bald eagle, is almost extinct. Now, what does it say about us as human beings that we could allow a creature as magnificent as this to perish? We can't do it. We can't. But most of all, we can't allow ourselves to become indifferent. It's not our world alone. We share it with a priceless and irreplaceable variety of creatures, all of whom have the same right to live as we do. And just as we share this world, we also share the responsibility for meeting any threat that comes to one of its creatures. If we stand idly by and do nothing while one species dies, it destroys not only that animal, but the best part of what makes us human. The death knell of just one species should be an alarm bell that tells us we're all in trouble. John Donne gave us the message more than 300 years ago when he wrote, "And therefore, never sin to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee." Huh? Thank you for becoming a part of our Rocky Mountain reunion. Go for it, partner.
Music and the Mountains will continue in a moment. Hiya, folks. I'm John Denver, and I'd like to invite you to join me here on ABC for a little Music in the Mountains. That's the Rocky Mountains, of course. Hiya, folks. I'm John Denver, and I'd like to invite you to join me and James Galway and Itzhak Perlman and Miss Beverly Sills for a little Music in the Mountains. We'll be right here on ABC. I promise you a wonderful show. Did I say Rocky Mountains? Okay. Hiya, folks. I'm John Denver, and I'd like to invite you to join me right here on ABC for a little Music in the Mountains. My guests are James Galway, Itzhak Perlman, and the beautiful Miss Beverly Sills. I promise you a wonderful show. Did I say Rocky Mountains? Music and the Mountains will continue in a moment. Hiya, folks. I'm John Denver, and I'd like to invite you to join me here on ABC for a little Music in the Mountains. That's the Rocky Mountains, of course.
Hiya, folks. I'm John Denver, and I'd like to invite you to join me and James Galway and Outtake Perlman and Miss Beverly Sills for a little music in the mountains. We'll be right here on ABC. I promise you a wonderful show. Did I say Rocky Mountains? Okay. Hiya, folks. I'm John Denver, and I'd like to invite you to join me right here on ABC for a little music in the mountains. My guests are James Galway, Outtake Perlman, and the beautiful Miss Beverly Sills. I promise you a wonderful show. Did I say Rocky Mountains? It's a long way from L.A. to Denver. Long time to hang in the sky. A long way home to Starwood and Aspen, the sweet Rocky Mountain paradise. Oh, my sweet Rocky Mountain paradise. Springtime is rolling down slowly. Gray skies are bringing me down. I can't remember when I've ever been so lonely. I forgot what it's like to be home. Can't remember what it's like to be home. But I think on my lady, sweet memories. I think on the children, sweet smiles. I think on my home in Starwood and Aspen, all my friends and the snow-covered hills. Oh, my friends are the snow-covered hills. Can I tell you, I'm happy to be here, to share and consider this time. For I see here the shadows of changes and a feeling of new friends to find. And I see here some new friends to find. It's a long way from this place to Denver, yes dear. Long time to hang in the sky. A long way home to Starwood and Aspen, sweet Rocky Mountain paradise. Oh, my sweet Rocky Mountain paradise. Hello, folks, and welcome once again to the Rocky Mountains in my little hometown of Aspen, Colorado, one of the most beautiful spots in all the world. Now, Aspen's known mainly for skiing, but it has an entirely different side, and that's the time of the year when music starts to echo through these mountains, and the Aspen Music Festival brings together some of the finest musicians in all the world. Add that to all the things that you can do here when the snow is gone, and you have a pretty good idea of what our show is all about. My guests tonight are Outtake Perlman, James Galway. My very special guest star is Miss Beverly Sills, and I've got her riding a horse, if you can believe that. I've also got her singing some pretty nice songs. Stick around, folks. It's a wonderful show.
Jessie went away last summer, a couple of months ago. After all our time together, it was hard to see her go. She called me right up when she arrived, asked me one more time to come. But living on an LA freeway ain't my kind of having fun. I think I'd rather be a cowboy. I think I'd rather ride the rain. I think I'd rather be a cowboy than to lay me down in love and ladies' chain. We were just beginning with such an easy way, laying back up in the mountains, making love for sunny days. She got tired of picking daisies and cooking my meals for me. She can live the life she wants to, it's alright with me. I think I'd rather be when I awake alone. The absence of her laughter is a cold and empty sound. Her memory always makes me smile, and I want you to know I love her, yes I love her, just enough to let her go. I think I'd rather be a cowboy. I think I'd rather ride the rain. I think I'd rather be a cowboy than lay me down and love and ladies' dream. I think I'd rather be a cowboy. I think I'd rather ride the rain. I think I'd rather be a cowboy than lay me down in love and ladies' chain. Lee Holdridge, ladies and gentlemen.
Colorado. He's chosen the bull named Spinner. Looking like he's gonna have a good ride though. I don't want to slip it off. Give him a hand. That's all
Miss Beverly Sills, definitely one of a kind. Opera star, and yes, cowgirl?
Hold them together.
I really enjoy introducing the mountains to people.
I wouldn't have missed it for anything.
I'm sorry about the rain. Here's a little sprinkle going on.
There's very little snow.
Following one of the most dazzling singing careers in the history of opera, Beverly Sills has moved on to become general director of the New York City Opera Company, and it's easy to see why she's one of the most beloved personalities in her field.
Right up above the ridge here, Beverly.
You know, it's like a chunk of my youth, because when I was a little girl, I used to do jigsaw puzzles with mountain scenes just like this.
So how you doing? You all right?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
You know, I've heard of horse operas, but this is ridiculous.
My special guest star, Miss Beverly Sills, Rocky Mountain style.
Let the bright seraphim in me grow. There's loud uplifting till trumpets blow. Let the bright seraphim burning go. Their loud uplifting till trumpets blow. Their loud uplifting till trumpets blow. Their loud uplifting trumpets blow. Let the bright seraphim in burning grow. In burning grow. Their loud uplifting till trumpets blow. Their loud uplifting till trumpets blow. Their loud uplifting till trumpets blow.
Did you ever see a color like this? You know, it's a lot like New England with the color change.
It's really my favorite time of the year in Colorado, is the fall. We'll be back with more of Beverly Sills, plus James Galway and Itzhak Perlman. Don't go away.
They either look terrifying or great. Great. Have a good day.
Can you imagine a more beautiful setting for a music school? You know, back in the 1800s, this place used to be a silver mine. But these days, it's home to about 900 students who each summer come here to learn from the musical masters and to gather inspiration from the mountains, the forests, the rivers, the birds, the animals, and each other. Doesn't take too long to find out that it's working either. Just listen. Every year, around the middle of June, the students and teachers begin arriving in Aspen from all over the world. Before long, the town is alive with over 900 young musicians settling in for summer classes. Getting acquainted with the town may come first, but making music is what the festival and school are all about. The standards are high, and as things get into full swing, the town and surrounding mountains become filled with the sounds of arpeggios and scales. Nobody wastes a moment preparing themselves for a rigorous audition by music director George Mester. It all began over 30 years ago with a special celebration attended by Albert Schweitzer and Arthur Rubinstein, both musicians themselves. The idea of centering a music festival in Aspen grew slowly into what it is today. With the raising of the tent and arrival of over 150 pianos and other instruments, the Aspen Music Festival and School are declared officially open. Before the summer is out, over 80,000 international visitors will attend the concerts hosted by Board Chairman Edgar Stern and President Gordon Hardy.
Yes, I know.
This is the break of a rehearsal this morning at the Aspen Music Tent for a concert that's going on this afternoon featuring the most famous and by far the most popular flutist in the world, Mr. James Galway. And Mr. Galway recorded one of my songs on an album a little over a year ago. The song was Annie's song, and he has consented this morning to our doing that together. And I am thrilled to death by that and also nervous.
I don't believe it.
Are you ready to do it?
Sure.
All right. The man with the magical flute. You fill up my senses like a night in a forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses, come fill me again. Sing with us. You fill up my senses like a night in a forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. Yes, you fill up my senses, come fill me again. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, that's wonderful. Thank you. And now, I'm very proud to introduce to you the one and only Mr. Outtake Perlman. Outtake, you know, I really find it hard to believe that I've got you out here fishing.
You know, it would be really great if we catch a fish. I got something. Wait a minute. I think I got him. Wait, come on, let's fish.
All right!
Hey!
All right! It's a rainbow.
It's a live one. Oh, God. Sure.
Oh, that's a big fish.
Gorgeous. Oh, my goodness. All right, well, better throw him back in the water. Give him a chance.
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back with Beverly Sills and Itzhak Perlman.
It's by far the hardest thing I've ever known, to be so in love with you and so alone. Follow me where I go, what I do and who I know. Make it part of you to be a part of me. Follow me up and down, all the way and all around. Take my hand and say you'll follow me. It's long been on my mind, you know it's been a long, long time. I'll try to find the way that I can make you understand the way I feel about you and just how much I need you to be there where I can talk to you when there's no one else around. Follow me where I go, what I do and who I know. Make it part of you to be a part of me. Follow me up and down, all the way and all around. Take my hand and say you'll follow me. You know I'd like to share my life with you, to show you things I've seen, places where I'm going to and places where I've been. To have you there beside me and never be alone. And all the time that you're with me is when we'll be at home. Follow me where I go, what I do and who I know. Make it part of you to be a part of me. Follow me up and down, all the way. Take my hand and say you'll follow me.
Bluegrass has always been a popular form of music, but I'll bet you've never heard it played with a 110-piece orchestra.
Well, the sailor's gone, the room is bare, the old piano's sitting there with someone's hat left hanging on the rack. Empty chairs, a wooden floor that feels a touch of shoes no more, waiting for the dancers to come back. And the fiddle's in the closet of some daughter of the town. The strings are broken, the bow is gone, and the cover is buttoned down. Sometimes on December nights when the air is cold and the wind is right, there's a melody that passes through this town.
Picking and singing with the Aspen Festival Orchestra is a real treat, but it took the fabulous Itzhak Perlman to give us a taste of down-home fiddle the way only he can play it.
Go for it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Aspen has long been known for its creative atmosphere, and through the years it has stimulated a wide variety of artistic expression. Not many people think of bodily combat as an art form, but Thomas Crum, president of the Aspen Academy of Martial Arts, demonstrates the dance-like art of an ancient Oriental discipline known as Aikido. Aikido is the art of harmony, a way of life which integrates physical and spiritual growth through the coordination of the mind and the body. Aspen may be a long way from the Orient, but I'm sure the ancient masters would approve of this beautiful setting as a home for their teachings.
Whalebones and crosses stand against the Arctic sky. Wind blows through the graveyard where our fallen fathers lie. Eternal snow that covers them, the shadows of the sun, the mighty struggle on the seas, a way of life is run. I'll sing for you, my father, for the ancient sacred ways. How the hunter loved the hunted, how the night becomes a day. The circle of the mighty spirit keep us in its fold. The warmth of understanding, like a light shot through the cold. Then bring to me my people, touch them with your loving hand. Lead them from confusion, lead them back unto the land. For sickness seems to block their path, it clouds my people's eyes. The promise that an idle truth will reap a golden life. Whalebones and crosses stand against the Arctic sky. The wind blows through the graveyard where our fallen fathers lie. The timeless hunt, a journey back to what we once came from. Compassion and nobility beneath the midnight sun. The mighty struggle on the seas, a way of life is run.
We'll be right back with more of Music and the Mountains. Summer in Aspen. Brilliant days high in the Rockies. There's lots to do, so Andy and I get out and enjoy all the town has to offer, like an impromptu performance by the Aspen String Trio. Or challenging the champs in a local softball game.
He's out! What?
When the big kids are through, the little kids take over. Everyone takes advantage of the warm weather while they can, especially in a town as sports-minded as Aspen. To the kids, this ballet class is just a lot of fun. But to us parents, it's a great way to interest them in the art of movement and self-expression. It takes years to perfect the graceful movements of dance, but from the dreams of little girls, future ballerinas are born.
'cause he called the forest brother. Because he called the earth his mother. They drove him out into the rain. Some people even said the boy from the country was insane, because he spoke to fish in the creek. He tried to tell us that the animals can speak. Who knows? Perhaps they do. I know they do. How do you know they don't? Just because they've never spoken to you. Boy from the country left his home when he was young. Boy from the country, he loves the sun. Yes, he does. He tried to tell us we should love the land. We just turned our heads and laughed. See, we did not understand. Sometimes I think the boy from the country is the only one who sees. 'Cause the boy from the country doesn't want to see the forest for the trees.
We got the airplane pre-flighted and everything, so
We're ready to go.
All we need to do is jump in and head for Houston.
After you, sir.
This is John Denver inviting you to climb aboard and join us for a trip that can only be described as far out. We've got a date today with a dream, one of man's oldest, the dream of flight. We're going to go places today where even the birds have never been. We'll be doing everything from ballooning to barnstorming to blasting off. Along the way, we'll meet some heroes, a couple of geniuses, and some people like you and me. But most of all, I can promise you we're going to have some fun.
I hope you folks recognize me, but I'm not sure you recognize the gentleman on my right. He's my father, Dutch Dutchendorf. He's been a pilot all his life. He taught me how to fly. Simply couldn't do this film without him. For a long time, I couldn't even get him in an airplane. Now, can't keep him out of it. Yeah, but I tell you what, I think he enjoys it as much as I do.
You can say that again.
I want you folks to sit down, strap your seatbelts on. Over the next hour, we're going to take you a few places you've probably never been before. You better hang on, because we're going to be going for it. That's it.
We're going to fire up a balloon and float over the Colorado Rockies. We'll take a sentimental journey back to Kitty Hawk to fly an exact reproduction of the Wright brothers' original flyer. We're going to find out what made those daring young men and women so daring back in the romantic days of barnstorming. And for a fantastic thrill, we'll plunge through the sound barrier in one of the world's fastest jets. So check those seat belts again, because this flight is ready to go. Of the 60s took man beyond the pull of gravity to float free on the edge of space. By the end of the decade, the rock-covered moon had become a stepping stone to infinity. Who can say where the space shuttle will take us tomorrow? At Palomar Observatory, we'll peer into the depths of space and wonder at the possible life forms we may discover there. We'll experience the thrill of flying the highest performance jets. And then we'll just lie back a little and enjoy the fun of floating over the Rockies or rocking into a barrel roll. We'll even get a little hilarious at New York's Rhinebeck Aerodrome, where expert pilots spoof the legendary aces of World War I. You don't have to be the Red Baron to figure out that everybody from Rickenbacker to von Richthofen gets kidded in these weekend melodramas.
Fly every chance I get. I love it. I really love it. Hot air ballooning has been with us for a couple of 100 years. In those brave old days, though, the way you did it was to carry a bonfire in a basket under a highly flammable bag made of paper or cloth. If it strikes you that it wasn't the safest way of getting off the ground, you're right. But at the time, it was the only way. In recent years, the development of the propane burner and flame-proofing has been responsible for putting balloons back in the air. This ancient pastime has now become a safe, spectacular, and enormously popular sport. Rallies like this one at Snowmass, Colorado, now bring balloonists together all over the world. Here at Snowmass, the high Rockies provide a majestic backdrop for these colorful giants. If anybody asks you what time the balloon is going up, you're generally safe if you tell them right after sunup, since the wind conditions for hot air ballooning are best soon after dawn. It's the kind of sport that gets you up early.
Let me goose it one time.
The very first time we actually got off the ground, it wasn't on the Wright brothers' wings. In fact, it was before the combustion engine was even a good idea. It was way back on November 21st, 1783, right?
Right.
In a hot air balloon. Hang on! Everybody up!
There you go.
We're still doing it today because it's great! When the Montgolfier brothers sent their first balloon up in Paris in 1783, it drew an enormous crowd. Among the onlookers was Benjamin Franklin, our ambassador to France at the time. As the balloon rose into the air, someone asked Franklin, "Of what possible use is it?" And Franklin's answer, as usual, was right to the point. "Of what possible use," he replied, "is a newborn baby?" Well, floating along in the breeze, suspended from a bubble of hot air, is great fun, but don't ever confuse it with powered, controlled flight. It took 120 years following that first balloon ascension in 1783 and the genius of the Wright brothers to solve the riddle of the ages and get man off the ground in powered flight for the first time. A hot air balloon can get you off the ground, but what about wings? Men have always envied birds their place in the sky, but it took two bicycle mechanics from Ohio, Wilbur and Orville Wright, to show us how to join the birds in powered flight. Here on Kill Devil Hill near Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, we've returned to the exact spot where the Wright brothers' original flyer first took to the air on that historic December 17th in 1903. My dad and I have returned here, along with some friends, to see if we can make history repeat itself. With my wife Annie here to give encouragement, and Dad supplying plenty of supervision, we're off to a good start. We're all here to join Ken and Nancy Kellett, a young couple from Colorado. Ken has built an exact replica of the original Wright flyer. My dad seems to feel that the untried replica may be just as dangerous to fly as the original. We're here to answer the same question the Wright brothers must have asked themselves on that December day in 1903. Will it fly? To really appreciate the giant step the Wright brothers took here at Kitty Hawk, it helps if you imagine someone asking you to design an airplane and you had never seen one. Since their flyer had no wheels, it was launched from a trolley on a greased skid. We'll be doing it the same way. The brothers were far from being ordinary bicycle mechanics who somehow stumbled onto the airplane through dumb luck. It took years of study and experimentation and repeated failure before they got it right. And along the way, danger was a constant companion. To attempt a takeoff from the same spot as the Wright brothers has to give you a feeling of awe. If this flyer takes to the air, it will be like leaving hallowed ground. By today's sophisticated standards, that attempt may look like a failure. But when the Wrights flew that long in 1903, few would believe it had happened at all. I guess everybody in love with flying wants to go farther, faster, and higher. I know we're ready to give it another try. It was a strange combination of Wilbur's noticing the way a buzzard's wingtips turned down as it banked in flight, and his twisting a long box from which he was unpacking a bicycle inner tube that led the brothers to a momentous breakthrough. They theorized that by twisting or warping the wingtips, they might be able to keep the machine on an even keel. This they accomplished by cleverly rigging a set of cables which the pilot could control by shifting his hips. Last flight of the day does a little damage, but the original flyer also cracked up before the technique was perfected. But it flew.
It flew, yeah.
Well, listen, I tell you what, I really admire anybody that sets out to do something and goes for it and does it. And you did that. You built that airplane, you made it fly, you proved you could do it. I congratulate you.
Thanks, John.
Heck of a job. Once the first plane was off the ground, everybody wanted to get into the act. The idea of flying took off overnight. Hiya, folks! Guess who? These biplanes are replicas of what back in the 1930s and 40s were simply the hottest thing in the sky. In fact, now that I think of it, it might have been the only thing in the sky back in those days. In any case, replicas like this Steen Skybolt and the Pitts Special behind me are being used today by pilots to enjoy what I consider the purest, truest, and rawest form of flying. Now, my friend Chris Woods and I are going to go take these things out and show you what barnstorming is all about. You ready, Chris?
You bet, John. Let's do it.
Here we go! It was in planes like these that a generation of daring young men and women barnstormed and wing-walked their way across the heartland of the country. Along the way, they sold rides. $2.50 for a flight with no frills, an extra $5 for stunts. But most important, they sold the idea of flying. Their enthusiasm turned out to be contagious, and since then, America has never been quite the same.
Well, Chris, give me a show here. I'll be back in a minute. All right.
You know, the old-time pilot's white silk scarf wasn't an affectation. It's a relic of the First World War. Fighter pilots wore them to keep their necks from getting chafed as they continually turned their heads to look for enemy planes.
You want to give it a try, John? No, I don't think so. I'm not quite ready for that yet. I'm learning. It's a lot of fun, I think. See how I do till you say, folks. Tell you what, Chris, I got a different treat for you, though. Why don't you follow me? I'll give you a little tour of these mountains. We'll go dance with them. Okay, I'm right behind you. Isn't this beautiful? Look, Chris, this mountain here on the right is Capitol Peak. We'll go up through this notch here and make a little bit of a left turn and go back out over the next shoulder.
Well, they may be building them hotter and faster now, In fact, we're going to fly one of the fastest jets in the world in a couple of minutes. But for sheer, unadulterated fun, give me an old barnstormer any day. We've come to the 1099th Physiological Training Flight Center here at Andrews Air Force Base in Washington, D.C., to begin training for flight in the supersonic F-15 Eagle. I can't wait. I'm so excited about this.
John, I think we've covered all the necessary material in the classroom and we're ready to go in the chamber. Are there any questions you have at this time?
Well, no, I'm just kind of anxious to see all of this applied, to experience it, you know. If you think those barnstormers were fast, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Have a seat.
Lieutenant Colonel Frank Mayberry, the Chief of Physiological Training here at Andrews, is going to check me out in his high-altitude chamber. This pressure cooker can simulate all the conditions of high-altitude flight right here at ground level. We're going to find out how the pilots of today's hottest aircraft learn to avoid or deal with such high-altitude killers as decompression sickness or a shortage of oxygen, which is called hypoxia. Tomorrow.
You will not. You'll have the super IP and you're going to be in good hands.
Okay, sir, we got our act together, so we're fixing to make our ascent now. Very good. Okay, here we go. Just start the 10 chamber up there. John, you got a copy of them? Yes, sir. Sergeant McCann, are you ready? Okay, we're going to take the altitude chamber up to 35,000 feet if you want. Roger, sir, here we go. Then when we get our denitrogenation completed, and we get our ascent to altitude, it's the only time in an altitude chamber that you will be purposely exposed to the area of decompression sickness. So at this time, if you're ready, why don't you just reach up, push the button, drop the oxygen mask down from the side of your face.
All right.
Instruments will close anytime. Go ahead, you feel. Is it relatively comfortable?
Okay. It's not suffocation, but I feel not getting the amount of air that I'm used to getting when I breathe.
It's okay?
Yes,
very fine. If everybody's ready, here in about 15 or 20 seconds, we're going to experience a rapid change in pressure. Here we go. Back on oxygen? Okay. Yes, sir. That's not bad at all. Mark, when you want that on? Fans? Yeah. Careful recovery. You can knock it out of emergency if you would like there, John. I've noticed that, one, you're getting better each time you don your oxygen mask. That's the typical of familiarity with the equipment. Yeah, we're coming in 8,000, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, John, the altitude chamber flight's complete. You passed it. Did a great job. And good flying in the F-15.
I can't wait, sir. Thanks very much. Handshake, that's it. All right. Langley Air Force Base, Virginia, home of the 2700th Fighter Squadron, the oldest fighter squadron in the Air Force, and the one I'll be flying with. As my dad and I rolled past the parked planes, Eagles they're called, I can't help thinking it's nice to see some eagles that aren't on anybody's list of endangered species. If Orville and Wilbur could only see how the baby has grown. I still can't believe that I am actually going to be flying one of them. Here to meet us, the commander of the 1st Tactical Fighter Unit, Colonel Don Miller, and his associate, Colonel Doug Priester.
Thank you.
JD, you probably wonder why we've hung you in this thing called suspended agony.
Yes, I certainly understand the term, and what is the deal? You guys mad at me?
Oh, no, John, all of us go through this training.
Everybody gets it.
Okay.
You've got to go through a parachute simulation before you go fly your Eagle jet.
Great.
Okay, John, now that you've gone through the egress trainer, you've bailed out the aircraft, now you've got a lot of sense relief, the parachute's over your head, now what do?
Okay, first, here to get me out of this mess, and into his airplane, I hope, is Lieutenant Colonel George Dvorak. Flanking him, Captains Frank Pickert and Rose Staten. If I'm in the wires, I don't want to hang anything. I should just wriggle a little bit. I ought to slip right down through. If I don't, just hang there and be cool. And I'm ready to fly.
Let's go.
I'm ready.
John, you know, you're flying with the 27th Tactical Fighter Squadron, the oldest fighter squadron in the Air Force.
The oldest. Flying the newest airplane.
Flying the newest airplane.
All right. Thanks, you guys.
Check 6.
Yes, check 6.
Frank will be right along to help straighten you out in the back there, okay?
Frank.
Go ahead. Left, right, close. Clear.
Thank you much for your help.
All right, then enjoy your flight.
Thanks, Tom.
Stand 2 flight, ground taxi to Park Eagle. Langley Wolf 5-1, taxi 3 Eagle Jets, standing by for clearance for 5-1 and 5-2 flight. Wolf 5-1 and Wolf 5-2, taxi to runway 07, wind 010 at 14, altimeter 3015.
Okay, Jen, you ready?
I'm ready, sir.
We are going.
Stick over the side. Good. Isn't that great? Keep going, Wolf. Okay, we can send the flight up when they come. Any altitude you want. We're on an altitude. Okay. Look behind you, Chad. That is great! Just modulate the power where you want it. Altitude doesn't make a difference now. You can clear it down to the ocean or to 50,000 feet.
Wow, that's a flight to remember. You know, it's almost impossible for the mind to comprehend that we've come from the Kitty Hawk Flyer to this baby, which knifes through the air somewhere close to 3 times the speed of sound, and all in the same century. Flying this plane is a little like riding a bolt of lightning. If I had noticed how fast Colonel Dvorak got out, I might have been ready for the aftershock. Well, I guess that makes me a baptized member of the 2700th, and I'm proud to be. This sculpture is called Ad Astra, and it means to the stars. And that's what this place is all about. This is the Air and Space Museum at the Smithsonian Institute here in Washington, D.C. And this is the most incredible museum I've ever been in. Everywhere you look around here are fantastic dinosaurs of space and flight. I mean, that's the real Kitty Hawk Flyer. you know. Over here is the Spirit of St. Louis, the X-15 rocket plane that bridged the gap between man and the stars, the Pioneer spacecraft. More people have visited this museum than any other museum in the world. Over 33 million people since it opened in 1976. I'm here because this place supports one of the things that I really strongly believe in, and that's our continued exploration of space. I mean, this is like a grand history of American achievement, keeping the memories alive in our hearts and in our minds.
9, 8, 7, all engines are started. 2, 1, 0, we have a liftoff. The Saturn V is moving off the pad. It has now cleared the tower.
Tower, you are complete. We're in a row, Bob. Roger, Gino, looking great. Run to the roll 5. Okay, David, when you go to your roll is complete, we are proceeding.
Oh, I have slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter's silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling bird of sun-split clouds and done 100 things. I've wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence, hovering there I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. The higher we fly, the farther we go, the closer we are to each other. The darker the night, the brighter the star. In peace go my sisters and brothers.
This place is a reminder of the mind-boggling places that we've already been, but even more importantly, it's an inspiration for the challenges that lie ahead.
Above the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the wind-swept heights with easy grace, where never lark or even eagle flew. And while with silent lifting mind I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctities, put out my hand and touch the face of God. The higher we fly, the farther we go, the closer we are to each other. The darker the night, the brighter the star. In peace go my sisters and brothers.
To meet those challenges, NASA's giant space shuttle, the world's first reusable spaceship.
And you've got control of the airplane.
Okay, got it. And I'm holding 240 knots. Designed to blast off like a rocket and land like a glider, this is our ticket to the future. But you'll see for yourselves. We're about to leave on a simulated flight into space.
Roger. Showing 36, I'm online. Look at the Mach number, 3.4. Now, this thing is really moving at this time, and we're coming down rapidly. We're at 83,000 feet, 290 knots now. Okay, we're going to ask you to give us a nice, gentle 30-degree bank turn when you get up to the heading alignment circle.
Roger.
Hello, Columbia, Chase 1 on board. Okay,
I'm starting to see a runway up here.
Got 265 knots. We're lined up. 12,000 feet. I'll arm the landing gear.
All right.
And it's asking for that little pitch down to get 290 knots. Roger. There, we're at 300 knots. We're looking good. We're at 7,000 feet.
Designed for Earth orbital flights of up to 30 days each, the shuttle can carry 7 people and 65,000 pounds of payload, including research equipment for studying astronomy, weather, and communications, among other things.
Now, okay, go ahead and let the nose come on down. Wheels are on their way. Nose coming up.
400 feet, 300 feet, 250, 200, 150, 100, 80, 70, 8, 40, 30, 20, 5, 5, 3, 2, touchdown.
Okay, nose wheel on the ground. We'll steer back over the runway center line. Okay, John, you're on the ground. Looks good.
Okay, folks, keep your seats. Next stop, Palomar, and a thrilling look into infinity. I'm on Palomar Mountain, riding the dome of the Hale telescope. Now, people call this the world's greatest eye because its powers are so enormous. It collects the light of 1 million human eyes. It can pick up candlelight at a distance of 10,000 miles. It can see 10,000 million light years into space. I mean, far out. Come on inside with me. We're about to look 8 billion light years into space. And here to guide us through the galaxies, world-renowned astronomer, Dr. Jesse Greenstein.
Hi, John.
How you like it up there? Well, I think this is pretty far out, sir.
You want to start turning the dome just to see how that works? First, before we do that, we've got to open it.
All right.
So let's get the opening. That's right.
Look at that. Now, the whole roof moves independently of the telescope.
That's right. Takes a skilled operator, and of course, then the first thing you want to do is open the mirror cover. If you want to do that, that switch is right over here.
Okay.
Why don't you just push the switch away from you? You'll hear a noise opening this 200-inch mirror to the sky.
Look at that. That's really the heart of the telescope, that incredible mirror.
They're pie-shaped segments that one goes over another, like an iris in a sense.
Isn't that amazing?
Okay, I think it's about time now we could get into the cage.
And we get to take a look.
We get to take a look.
You can actually see, you have a view piece here.
Yeah, we have an eyepiece which is used mainly for centering of the field.
Yeah.
We tend not to actually look during any serious observation.
The Hale telescope weighs 530 tons, but it's so delicately balanced that the tiny motor which moves it generates only 1/12 of a horsepower.
The best thing, since this seat is tilted at a crazy angle now, but it'll be more comfortable later, is just back in.
Now I can hold on, there's nothing.
Hold on to everything except for one button which you can't risk. Okay,
I'm a little sideways here,
That's
actually.
all right. Are we hitting anything?
Good. No, sir.
All right, now see if you can get your eye up to that eyepiece here where the
Right
light.
here.
Yes.
Now what am I going to see? What am I looking at?
You're looking, just at a star 10,000 times brighter than the sun or something. It's in the Andromeda. You've seen the Andromeda.
Is that right? You mean this is a star in Andromeda?
That's right. That's right.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding. We seldom. At least we hope we're not kidding.
I beg your pardon? Far. In 1919, astronomers saw something only visible during a total solar eclipse. The sun's gravity bends passing starlight. Astronomer Edwin Hubble's later discovery that the furthest galaxies move the fastest added further confirmation of Einstein's general theory of relativity. Einstein and Hubble had redefined the universe.
You see now how we can move to any part of the sky. Now if you lean forward, I think you can see this object in the distant system.
Before us, a gigantic nebula. the spectacular remnant of an ancient stellar explosion. Wow. What we are seeing in the night sky may be the death of a star, a long past event, the light of which is only just now reaching us. Not even the stars are eternal.
Stars live and die.
It's a living entity.
As far as I'm concerned, the stars are life in the universe. The star is born out of dust and gas, it lives and it dies.
What is a galaxy?
A galaxy is a family of stars.
That's how you would describe it.
Yes, 100 billion stars moving together under the mutual gravity in a giant spiral pattern like Andromeda.
Now, our galaxy is the Milky Way.
That's right.
So what was at the beginning then?
It was like a cosmic egg. The universe began with this big bang of hydrogen and helium, in which all the energy and ultimately all the matter of the universe was concentrated. By finding that the more distant objects moved faster and faster away from us, we deduced that it was not just a simple motion, but that space itself was expanding. The sun gave birth to the planets, we think, in a much more peaceful way, at a very low temperature, in fact, against this enormous temperature measurable only in the billions of degrees at the beginning of time.
What was the Earth like originally?
Well, we sort of think it was like these pockmarked planets that we see from space now, covered with debris formed by the gradual accumulation of impacting small asteroid-type bodies, hunks of rock hurtling in.
The early history of our planet and the origins of life on it remain shrouded in mystery. Scientists can only speculate on the convulsions which led to the formation of cells capable of reproducing themselves. In one of my favorite poems, Langdon Smith says it best. When you were a tadpole and I was a fish in the Paleozoic time, and side by side on the ebbing tide, we sprawled through the ooze and slime. The eons came, and the eons fled, and the sleep that wrapped us fast was riven away in a newer day, and the night of death was past. Thus, life by life, and love by love, we passed through the cycles strange, and breath by breath, and death by death, we followed the chain of change.
With space exploration, we've looked through our own solar system, a rough dozen planets and 20 satellites or thereabouts. They're all miserable places, you know, we wouldn't live there.
Yeah.
We seem to be in a very strangely fortunate world.
What you're looking for most specifically is that other stars like our sun probably have planets around them, is that right?
I was interested mostly, since there is a great interest in other intelligences and other worlds, and first finding if there was one other world in which anything could live.
How many galaxies are there? Do we know?
Well, we really don't know. That's one of the main goals of the study of cosmology and the expanding universe. But the guess is that there are somewhere between hundreds of millions and some billions of galaxies. And each one has a population of 100 billion stars like our sun. There's no end to it. The real problem...
Is there no end to it?
We don't know. That's...
Oh, really?
We don't know. Science is built...
Science cannot tell you that.
Not yet. We look at these things, we look at more and more distant ones, we strain our equipment and our mind. It's the process that we're trying to find out.
Yeah.
Because there's no point in giving an answer in advance. Doors beyond doors. I wish we could see through them. It's going to take very special means. It's going to take different kinds of telescopes. For example, work in the infrared, where you detect the heat radiation of a planet relatively more easily than its reflected light.
We also send messages into space, abstract attempts to explain who we are.
Since life as we know it is most probably near stars like our sun, we aim our electronic ears in their direction.
Carbon is formed in stars. Oxygen is formed in stars.
Yes.
Everything else was born in stars. And we're born of the same kind of material from stars.
So if that is the case then, and we feel that all the materials are pretty much the same in the universe, then if there is another planet in a situation like ours, what are the probabilities that this creation of life, living organisms, does that get to be probable then?
To me, it would seem that the fact that we are made of the commonest elements synthesized by nuclear burning in stars make us. So it's very difficult to believe that if there's a platform at about the right temperature, that life might not develop spontaneously. Well, that's pretty far out, as you would say.
Yes.
But it's true also.
Yeah.
You couldn't sit up in that chair 8 or 10 hours a night without having some belief that there'll be novelty. Well, life is the ultimate novelty.
But novelty implies unpredictability. And nowhere is it chiseled in stone that life, if it exists beyond the Earth, would necessarily have evolved the same way it has here. A tree-like creature, capable of movement, guided by some primitive impulse to seek the nutrients necessary to survive and reproduce, may be the ruler of some alien planet a billion light years away. Harvard's Nobel Prize-winning biologist, Professor George Wald, believes emphatically in extraterrestrial life. He said, "I think there is no question that we live in an inhabited universe that has life all over it."
That sense of wonder is what forces us to work, and it may be that sense of striving for the impossible.
But it is precisely this sense of wonder, of curiosity, and our compulsion to satisfy it that sets us apart from all our fellow creatures on Earth. Perhaps our search will lead us to discover that the king of some distant planet resembles one of the giant predators of our own ocean, a throwback, by earthly definition, to a time before animals had crawled out of the water to survive on land. No one can predict where our sense of wonder will take us, or what we will find on the voyage to distant worlds. And it would be rash of us to assume that man represents the highest form of life in the universe. Compared with what we may discover, we may be more primitive than this monarch from the depths of another world.
What about intelligent life?
So first you've got to look. Without information, there's no knowledge. We have to expect miracles, but we have to make them work.
It may be presumptuous to assume that an alien creature could resemble us, but considering the odds, it's just as presumptuous to rule it out. And it might not only be similar, but far superior. Astronomer Richard Berenson had this to say of life on other worlds. The question has become not so much one of if, as of where. And who knows? Many of these forms of life are possibly far more technically advanced than ourselves.
How would you define science? What is science to you?
So science is the use of the most sophisticated technologies which one can develop to satisfy individual aspiration. It's a song, it's a dream where you're limited by reality, but you can twiddle a lot of knobs to manipulate things too.
I love that you said it that way. That science too, this incredible mathematical, organized thing, is a song. It's a dance. It's a miracle. It's a work of art. Human beings are pretty incredible.
My name is Cole Palin, and I've been working on these things really all my life. Why did I start the Rhinebeck Aerodrome? I just thought old airplanes ought to have a fine old home. Why are people interested in old airplanes with such marvelous, sophisticated airplanes flying around today? With the old airplanes, it can be one man by himself controlling the whole situation. I think it's human nature to want to do the whole thing themselves. The individualist.
Boy, that thing's going to need some grease. My name's Dave Fox. I've been flying here for 25 years at old Rhinebeck and enjoying every minute of it. I started flying in 1934 in Texas, and I've got about 20,000 hours now. And I guess these are more fun than anything else I've flown. There's not only a certain amount of ego to it, but there's a euphoria that comes over you. If you fly the thing and fly it well, you know that you've done it. And nobody can tell you. There's no electricity, so there's obviously no radio for somebody in the ground to tell you that you're doing wrong or what you're supposed to do next. And of course, it was always a thrill to get up and look down. There's nothing quite like it on a beautiful day. You break out and see the ground for the first time. It's a thrill. I never got over that.
The crowds jammed the bleachers every summer weekend here at the old Rhinebeck Aerodrome, 100 miles up the Hudson River from New York City. What they've come to see is an old-fashioned air show put on by some of the best stunt pilots in the world. The planes they fly are the tuned-up relics of World War I. Open cockpit planes with names like the Sopwith Camel, Spad, Jenny, the Fokker DR-1 triplane. These are the planes that made legends of the famous aces, Immelman, Rickenbacker, and the Red Baron himself, von Richthofen. Here at Rhinebeck, the legends are gently kidded. Like the aces they are spoofing, these pilots too fly by the seats of their pants. But their dogfights are more bark than bite, and their bombs more smoke than shrapnel. Circus, you don't need a program to tell the bad guys from the good guys. The damsel in distress may be tied to a barrel instead of a railroad track, but nobody doubts for a minute that she'll survive. The heroes are all pure of heart in this nostalgic look back, and we know before it's all over, the villain will get it in the end.
The space program, I think it's a marvelous thing. My father delivered mail in a horse and buggy, and he lived to see Sputnik. A wonderful time to be alive.
The use of space is going to be necessary to continue the progress of man. It's going to lead the way to long-term space population. There are actually going to be generations within the next 100 years who were born and raised in space. To keep it going, they're going to have to make the space shuttle do things for people, because people is the key to anything we ever have done as a nation or will do as a nation.
In 1948, the experts said it would be another 200 years before we'd make it to the moon. But in 1969, this Saturn V rocket was the initial stage of a delivery system which carried 2 Americans to its surface and brought them safely home. Today, this rocket is practically obsolete. The space shuttle has been born, and with it the promise of new and even greater discovery. It's kind of hard to imagine, but someday even the space shuttle will become obsolete as we continue to step into the future and out of the past. So what does all this mean? These dreams of the past turning into modern-day reality? Well, I'm convinced that it means that we can accomplish just about anything we set our minds to. We can continue to solve the most difficult problems that we face here on Earth and learn new ways to improve the quality of our lives and the lives of our children. But first of all, we have to decide that that's what we want to do. And then we have to learn how to work together toward those goals. I know that it's true that you have to climb to the top of the mountain to see the other side. Well, we wanted wings, we got them. And we're beginning to use those wings to fly beyond familiar peaks to the far side of those mountains. We can't not do it. We must continue our explorations. We must open our eyes and our minds and our hearts to accept being the first among humans to enter the far reaches of space.